Mm. It's time for a tasting on Mondays with the millennial song. It's been forever. I know it's been way too long since we've had our Monday night tastings. And even I just looked at the schedule and saw that book club. I'm about to be on a flight going somewhere else. So even book club's not to move to a Tuesday or something. We have to figure that out. But I'm just excited that we're able to come back together. I know we were here on Thursday for Tasting Thursday. But today is Monday, and every Monday we host a tasting where we are now going to be tasting our wine club wine. So if you're not familiar, yes, the Millennial Psalm does have a wine club, and I want you guys to join because every Monday from here on out, we're going to be tasting wines from Wine Club. Okay, so you get an option of 6 wines or you can have 3. It's totally up to you. But we always feature the wines from our wine club, including for book club, which this is the book that we're reading. I have to. You know what I don't like about TikTok? Is that they don't actually allow you to mirror before you go live. I don't really understand what that's about. But this is the book that we're reading for book club, and I'm actually going to reference it. You love his book? Yes! I love the book too, but we are reading this for book club. Like I said just a few moments ago, book club is scheduled on Wednesday, and I don't know why I scheduled it because I'm gonna be on a flight. And I'm just now realizing it. Y'all, I've been all over the place. But it's okay, because we're gonna gather ourselves. But if you guys are excited for today's wine tasting, please let me know in the comments. Let me see some wine, some something. Let me see some emojis. And also the subscription is going to actually start. I don't know about next week, but probably the week after next, we're going to be starting back up our wine subscriptions and all of that jazz. So please make sure that you guys are staying tuned. Sign up for Wine Club / mailing list and all of that, so you are always connected with what's going on with Millennial Song. But before I show y'all the wine that we're tasting today, I'm going to need to see what you're sipping on and where you're tuning in from in the comments below. Where y'all from? Where y'all from? I'm in Dallas. Y'all know I'm actually from DC. I'm with my friend, Rose Babe. She in the other room working and watching Legendary. But I'm super excited. Wait. All these people in the room, but y'all ain't talking to me. Okay, so we got Sparkling. She's in Las Vegas. Love it. Mona Lisa. San Diego in the building. Melanated wine. Oh, love it. Where else are you guys are? Where else are you guys are? That's a sentence. Let me know. I'll keep giving you guys shout outs. Hey, from Chicago, Chi-Town. What's going on, babe? This is the wine that we're going to be drinking, a little bit of Chablis. I don't even know where I am. Child, that sounds like a wild night. You in Las Vegas? Come on, Charlotte, North Carolina. Love it, love it. So this is the wine that we're having, okay? Are we familiar with Chablis? Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. What's going on? We just had some Creole food here in Dallas that was actually pretty solid. Had some shrimp and grits. But are you guys familiar with Chablis? Let me know. Bottles popping. Yes, this is one of our wine club wines. We about to get in. But Chablis, honestly, love Chardonnay. Yes. Dallas, Texas. That's where I am right now. Come on. Don't mind my bruise. I'm all bruised up. Damn. That look bad. Sounds expensive. Well, honestly, it sounds. Whenever you hear the word Chablis, always think flinty, think delicious Chardonnay, think not Napa Chardonnay. So I know a lot of people, let me know in the comments, how many people do not like Chardonnay and how many people love Chardonnay. Hair Chick 4, hello. We got some people from Seattle, Washington. What's poppin'? Ow. Showrunner, thank you so much for the rose. And guys, again, sign up for Wine Club because all the wines that we're tasting for every Monday is going to be Wine Club wine. So if you want to taste along, the best way to get these wines is to make sure you sign up for Wine Club so we can ship directly to your door, okay? But that's your favorite. You love Chardonnay. I know there are a lot of people out there who hate Chardonnay, and they hate it for a number of different reasons. Number one, they don't like that standard Napa Chardonnay, right? It tastes like a butter, cream cheese. It's very dank, for lack of a better term. And the truth is, that's not the only expression of Chardonnay. So all the people who love champagne, let me know in the comments below. How many people love champagne? Blanc de Blanc. Okay, like let me see some champagne emojis if you absolutely love champagne. All right, so we have, someone said the butter is not for me. Sparkling Mona Lisa said me. I'm assuming you're talking about loving champagne. Who else loves champagne in the comments? Because what a lot of people don't know is, wait, there you go. Champagne, is actually one of the premium, or one of the principal grapes is Chardonnay. So while we are out here talking about how much we hate Chardonnay, the truth is you don't like a specific style of Chardonnay. And the reason why I want to talk about Chablis is because it's a beautiful style of Chardonnay. We're moving away from that malolactic fermentation that really allows that wine to taste like buttercream cheese. We're not really using too much oak. Now, I will say a lot of people will think that Chablis, there's no oak. That's actually not true. False. There are examples of Chardonnay, of Chablis Chardonnay being aged in some type of oak. Usually that's with the premium wines, but the truth is you're really not trying to make the wine taste like oak, right? That's not the actual goal when we're dealing with wines from Chablis. They still want it to be very true to the grape, which is why I recommend you guys try it, okay? So if you're ready for this tasting, let me see some wine emojis. I don't care if it's a champagne, bottle popping, cheers, red wine glass, because emojis, y'all still discriminating against my wine. Why do we only have a red wine emoji? I need to know who wants to protest with me, stand up to these emoji people and say, do not discriminate against my wine. Okay? So, don't discriminate against my wine. Okay? Teach the children. That's what I try to do. So this is our wine. Now, let me know, how do y'all love this wax? Isn't it super cute? Isn't it cute? I love a good wax. Now, a lot of people tend to steer away from wax simply because they are afraid of opening it. Now, today we're going to test something. Y'all ready for a good test? Yes, absolutely beautiful. Sola, yes. So usually whenever I have wax, I was taught to actually get your wine key. Oh God, there you go. Get your wine key and go around and then just open it like regular. However, other people say that's not necessary. So today we're going to do a quick test to see if it's really pointless or not. I've seen people do it before. I want to see what your thoughts are, if you like it or not. And so let's go ahead and just get into it. Okay, let's open up this wine. Wine key. You're going to go right in the middle for people who are not sure how to open up. In the middle and screw down. Okay, so you guys see, even in wax, it's not difficult to put your key in. You're going to go all the way down. I like to use levers because it's just a little bit easier. I do have a beautiful wine key that is a bit easy. But you guys see, I just opened it. Super easy. So, not as clean as one would like, but clean enough so that you don't have to really worry about getting wax in your wine. So I say that was actually simple enough, and I probably won't be cutting around anymore. All right, so grab your glass. Let's go ahead and pour. If you don't have this wine, if you're not a part of the wine club, you can still sign up and get all of the wines that we have for wine club. But also, aside from that, just grab whatever wine you have and participate. All of these tastings, I'm going to ask you questions. Yes, it would be awesome if you could actually respond with the wines that I have. But if you don't have it, I still want to know what you're drinking and what your experience is, okay? So yes, when you are drinking white wines, and especially like the lighter bodied, citrus forward, minerality, all of those kind of wines, you really do want them to be chilled. Okay, so definitely put it in your refrigerator before you drink. Give it a couple hours to acclimate, okay? And then all of that jazz, okay? So let's go ahead and move on. So in our tastings, we have 4 steps of tastings. We start with sight. We look at our wine so that we can kind of get a few clues on what to anticipate when we're drinking our wine. Then we go to nose. We smell for all these different aromas, and we're like, ooh, yes, child. It's very intense. It's not intense. We're also still getting a little bit of that hint. But understand, sight, smell, taste, and savoring, they're all a part of the experience. So looking at your wine and smelling your wine are just as important as tasting your wine, because sometimes you'll smell a wine and it will smell so amazing, and then you'll taste it and it'll be nasty. That goes against your savor. That goes against everything when we talk about our overall experience. So pay attention. Of course, if you want to just drink, because sometimes we just drinking to get the job done. But if you are drinking to fully understand your wine and get to know your palate and find wines that are more in your lane, you want to do these steps just so that you can understand what you are experiencing, okay? So if you guys are still with me, y'all hanging in tight, you are grabbing your wine and you are tasting along with me, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat as we keep it going. Take it to the head. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes that's the goal. You know, when you go to a store and you're looking at the alcohol content in the back, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Get it how you live is how I live. Okay, so we just gonna move on past it. So scrolling through TikTok now, must stop and open a bottle of wine. That's why we here. Follow, subscribe, make sure you sign up to my wine club so that you can taste along with us every Monday, and then also join us for book club. All right, so we have Andre Mack. This is the book that we are reading for book club. Right now we're scheduled for Wednesday, but we're gonna have to move it to Tuesday. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first step, sight. Let me see some sights. What is the very first step of tasting? Put it in the comments below, and do not judge my broken nail. I don't even know if you guys noticed. Look at this. Look at this shit. You see this shit? It broke. I was doing my hair, and it just gave out. Like, these are my real nails, and it just like was like, I don't want to do it. All right, so go ahead and look at sight. So what color would you say that this wine is? Let me know in the comments below. Typically, when we're dealing with our white wines, I would say straw, yellow. Sometimes it might be a little gold or amber. So we have gold. Anyone else? Now, when you're looking at your wine, you guys, you're not going to look up like this. You're actually going to look down. I know I'm doing this so that you guys can see. And sorry about that ring light. But you want to look down with a white piece of paper so that you can truly judge the color. So we have someone who said gold. I know that sometimes it can look different in the camera. For me, it's more of a yellow. But if you are drinking your wine, tell me what color your wine is before we move forward. I know a lot of people obsess about the legs. So you guys, let's go ahead and make a pause. I'd have to do this every tasting because there's always someone new in the chat. What do the legs mean? And while y'all tell me, I'm gonna take a sip because, yeah. Oh, come on. Damn, that tastes good. Chablis gets you every time. It gets you every time. Chablis is absolutely delicious. But what do the legs mean? So when people talk about, oh yes, you have to see the legs. The legs really tell you if the wine is absolutely delicious. It's a quality wine. All right. I don't know how to say your name, baby, but alcohol and sugar, the millennials, thank you, baby, for the app, but yes, sugar content, absolutely. All of these answers that you have in the chat are absolutely correct. You are looking at this, you're looking at the legs to actually see, number one, how quickly does the wine kind of drop from the glass? If it moves really quickly, we're also kind of able to say, okay, it probably has low sugar. If it's taking a long time for it to actually drip, and then when it finally does drip, they're very thick lines, right? Then we're going to say maybe this wine is high in sugar or high in alcohol. That will directly connect to the body of the wine, the body being the mouthfeel, the weight of it, right? Is it thin like water? Is it thick like my ass? I'm just joking. Thick like milk, oat milk, or anything like that. That is the whole purpose of looking at the wine and testing. Okay, this one, I swirled a little bit. When I tell you it didn't do anything, it just goes straight to the bottom. The legs are not, it's almost non-existent in how it just goes down. So even looking at this wine, and I forgot what the alcohol content is, and we'll look in the back of the bottle to see. But just looking at the wine, I can tell you that this wine is probably dry, meaning low to zero residual sugar, or this wine is probably low in alcohol. all from just looking at the wine, okay? So these are things, you write it down, you take note, and you go ahead and you move on to the next step. So I already said what the steps are. We first look at sight. What is the second step of tasting, child? You know, what is the second step of tasting, child? What is the second step of tasting? What is the second step? What's the second step? Talk to me. What's the second step of tasting? Yes, thank you, Sharon. Smell, KG, smell. Come on. So yes, we're going to go ahead and get into the smell. Now, I'm going to keep my second thought to myself. Let's go ahead, give it a nice little swirl. Be careful. Okay, we don't spill because that's wine abuse. Okay, no wine left behind. Get your nose up in there and really deeply inhale and see what aromas that you can get. Try to get at least 5 if you can, but if you can't, it's okay. Sometimes what I'll do if I'm having a hard time, that just says that the wine is either very tight or that the wine isn't very intense on aroma, which goes into the overall experience, right? But sometimes if I'm having a hard time smelling, I'll smell, taste, and then go back to smelling again, just so that I can see, like, am I missing something? So that's what I do. Let's go ahead, get your nose in there, and let me know if you have a different wine, what you're getting out of your wine. Y'all ready? Let's go. Ooh, it smells good. Yeah, so you're definitely getting a little lemon, little melon in there. What is that? Green apple. So it's like lemon, green apple, melon. It almost smells like, It actually kind of has a little bit of like a underripe characteristic, like some type of, like, now I don't want to say grass, but I'm gonna go on to that kind of lane over there, right? Definitely has a green kind of characteristic to it. And on my nose, I know that it's kind of like wet slate, like that kind of aroma. Definitely there, which is known for Chablis. So if you're ever blind tasting and you're like, oh my gosh, it smells so fresh, but it also has a really nice saltiness kind of aroma, minerality to it. Not lemongrass. Lemongrass is very specific, child. It is not lemongrass. Not lemongrass, but definitely just grass. I will rock with grass, even though I think that might be a little bit too strong of an aroma, but green. You can rock with green. We can say green and move forward with that. Okay, we don't have to be too specific. Again, I always say to any person that I'm having in live tastings or on these virtual tastings, the only answer that's wrong is one that you make up. So just, if it's green, just say green. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Well, that is, you shouldn't, baby. You shouldn't. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. After you write all your aromas down, it's okay if you didn't get a lot out of your wine. Matter of fact, let's pause. People who are drinking wine, are you guys getting anything on the nose that's really standing out to you? Like, tell me what your experience is. If you guys aren't drinking anything, put a 1 in the chat. If you are drinking something, put like a wine emoji and just describe what you're getting on the nose as I move on, and I'll give you a nice little shout out and come back and tell the people what you're smelling in your wine. Amen. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. After eyes, sight, and the nose, the smell, we move on to my favorite part of every tasting. Not the most important, but the most important as far as enjoyment. What is the third step of, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sad. I gotta get my nails done. Albarino, yes, baby. Ooh, so we're doing, so you might not have the same wine as me, but we are on the same vibe. We're getting that acidity. We're getting that green fruit. We're getting that, little minerality. So I love it, baby. I love it. Albarino is one of my favorite varieties as well. So check them out. But yes, we're going to move on to the third step, which is taste, sip, enjoy the wine. Let's actually see what we're actually getting on the palate itself and bringing all of our experiences together for our final step. So let's go ahead and get it. I like to take a little sniff, then sip, swish it around like mouthwash. Make sure you coat every part of your mouth before you swallow. And then assess. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. It smells so good. It's that green apple in there. It's that green apple, that like lemon and green apple, and ooh, it smells so good. Mm. 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 Y'all, why it tastes so good? It actually really does taste really good. It's such, so the theme for this month's wine club is porch pounder, and I definitely think that this is obviously a porch pounder. I mean, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. It's so delicious. Like, I can't even like get past it. It's really that green apple, that minerality, a little bit of saltiness that it's just like, right? Lemon is definitely there. Has like this kind of melon. Wow. Like honeydew. Crisp, slightly peachy. You're talking about yours. Yeah, maybe pine nuts. Okay. Now you need a glass. What you need to do is sign up for this wine club so you can get up in there. But absolutely, this wine is so perfect for the pool, perfect for the beach, perfect for just being in your house, minding your business, and you a little thirsty, a little parched. This is a great wine, honestly. So the acidity is high. The body actually, let me see. So it's light bodied, dry wine. Outside of that, tannin. Are we dealing with tannin in this wine? What is tannin? I'll tell you guys what tannin is, and you tell me if you believe that we are going to assess tannin in this wine. So tannins come from the skin, stems, and seeds of a grape. Okay, it's a chemical compound found in the skin, stems, and I can't even say it. Chemical compound found in the stems, in the seeds, and the skins of a grape. Okay, and it usually comes when you have skin contact with the wine. It really seeps it out. There are other places where you can find a little bit of tannin and get it in. Sometimes you can get it from oak aging and other places like that. But do white wines have tannin? And that exactly is the question, the good Dr. Laura. Typically, no. You don't usually deal with tannin with white wine because there is no skin contact. Skin, color, tannin, you get all of that from contact of during the fermentation process or other process that you could possibly do in order to really extract that tannin. With white wines, we don't typically have to worry about it unless this wine has been treated in some other special way like oak aging, right? And even then, it's usually still going to be very low. Or you might have the stems or whatever else you want to do. But typically, no. So we're not going to worry about tannin in this wine. I just want to make sure I covered everything. Acidity, when we're dealing with Chablis, we're dealing with beautiful, beautiful acidity. But why are we dealing with great acidity? I want you guys to tell me why this wine would most likely have great acidity. Tell me in the comments below, and I'm actually going to reference our book club wine. I said book club wine. Book club book for the answer. So if you guys have your Andre Mac 99 bottles, you can open it up and I will tell you the answer is on page 53. And you know, when we have our book club, it's actually a game night. It's not really just like everyone just walking around like, so what did you think about the book? No, we have game night. So some questions that we're going to be asking here during our lives and other Mondays will be relevant to the questions that we're going to ask during book club. So it's always great to show up for these live tastings so you are connected. And then again, signing up for wine club and actually having our featured wine to taste along with us every Monday, including our book club, which is on Wednesdays. Okay? With the exception of this month. I have to change it because I'm flying out to Napa. What happened? All right, so I asked y'all a question and I don't remember what it was. All right, so I'm just going to read this for you guys. This is from our book here. So number one, we already talked about the principal grape. The grape of Chablis is what? Chardonnay. But the cool thing about this region is that because the region is so far north in Burgundy, right? It actually is what the most northern region in Burgundy. Hopefully I'm not making that up. Oh yeah, I am right. Northernmost wine region in Burgundy. Come on, Isis, you better know. You better know your maps. Okay, but because the region is so far north, the grapes get less sunshine and mature more slowly. Okay, so just going back to basics when we're talking about wine, think of a banana. When you go to the grocery store and say you are like, I want to buy bananas, however, I'm not going to eat them immediately. What color banana do you get? Do you get the green banana or do you get the yellow banana? If you're not ready to eat it immediately, you know that you want to eat it a little later, so you get which color? Come on, which color? Talk to me. You go to the store, you get a banana. Do you get the green or the yellow when you're not going to eat it immediately? You're like, I'm going to eat it like in a week. I'm about to say, like, y'all better answer me. Green. Now, why do we do that? We do that because the green banana is underripe, right? It actually isn't at its ripest. As time goes by, it starts to turn colors. The sugar levels increase. The acidity in that, when we're talking about ripeness, sugar levels increase, acidity drops. The same thing happens with grapes. When grapes are first on the vine, they change colors. We get them ready. We're ready for harvest. We're like, ooh, 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 ooh. The entire time we are growing that grape, and then we start to have ripeness come into play, what's happening is the grape actually starts off with a high acidity and low sugar. So if we're dealing with a grape that's growing in a region where they're not really getting a lot of sunlight, and it's actually causing the grape to struggle to ripen, that means that we're dealing with a wine that's going to retain, or a grape that's going to retain acidity and have a lower sugar content. So that is one of the main reasons why we have a Chablis in this winemaking region that has a higher acidity and lower sugar level. Did I lose you? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand. If you have a question, put a question in the chat, okay? So when we're talking, whenever we discuss regions and all that jazz, I know some people feel like, oh, it's all bogus. It doesn't really mean anything. Well, actually it does. Based off of where this wine was grown, okay? Based off where this wine is grown, there's going to be a different flavor profile, different characteristics, right? So let's just say we go over to Portugal, right? Warmer climate. Sun is a little more intense, okay? If we go out there, we're going to deal with more wines that have higher sugar levels and lower acidity because it has the climate to really allow a grape to thrive and ripen. In France and Chablis, because that's just not how it's set up, we're going to deal with a wine with beautiful acidity. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. So another cool thing about Chablis is actually I kept saying when I first had the taste of the wine, I was like, oh my God, come on with the minerality. Why is a Chablis known for its minerality? What causes it to have that kind of saltiness, right? A little bit of that like wet stone flavor and aroma. If you know the answer, put it in the chat. If you don't know the answer, let me see a 2. Let me see a 2. If you want this answer, if you want this answer, put a 2. If you know that answer, put it in the chat. Okay, so we got melanated. Wino wants to know the answer. Still standing. D, is that you? The good Dr. Laura. All right. So, still. And guys, it's not too late. Audible. This book is only 6 hours. I know that might sound like a lot, but if you just, sit down, take a walk for an hour or something, you will pass and be able to read this book. Okay. So, if you go to page 53, it actually has a reason why it's known, Chablis is known for their minerality, their taste, right? So it says the soil is a former seafloor. So in Chablis, the soil is a former seafloor. So it's full of falsified, Jesus keep me near the cross, seashells and fragments of old marine life. So we always talk about, and I know a lot of people, I've read that there are a lot of scientists who disagree that soil impacts flavor. Well, guess what? A lot of winemakers disagree, and we have centuries and centuries upon centuries of experts who have been making wine who absolutely disagree. And because of this kind of soil, they believe that it impacts the flavor and makes it taste a little more salty, makes it taste, like wet stone, like seashells, all of that stuff, right? So that is one of the main reasons. The soil itself allows for the wine to have that minerality that we absolutely love and cherish. I feel like I need the need for cheese. I feel the need for cheese. Baby, you want some cheese recommendations with this? So honestly, when you're dealing with wines that have high acidity, you want to get a cheese that also has high acidity, right? So I think a goat cheese would be perfect with Chablis. I mean, food chemistry, just so you guys know, right? Whenever you have a food that's high in acidity, you want a wine that's as high, if not higher. Because what will happen is the acidity in the food will make a wine appear to have less acidity, making the wine flabby and not enjoyable. So you want to do acidic food, as acidic, if not higher. Okay, so I do recommend maybe a goat cheese will be perfect with a Chablis, an Bourguignon, Vino Verdes, what's another one? A Picpoul, any type of high acidic wine, champagne, which is very high in acidity, believe it or not. And as another go-to, if you are not a fan of champagne because you feel that the wine is too high in acidity, go for a cava. It's made the same way, the traditional method. However, because of climate, again, we already talked about climate and it being cooler, hotter, all that stuff. Cava typically does have a lower acidity than champagne. So just throwing that out there for you guys, a little knowledge. Okay. So yeah, overall, I'm loving it. So we've already done sight, we've done smell, and we've done sip. The last step of tasting is savor. And honestly, I know that I love this wine. It's amazing. Chablis never fails me. It's very rare. I don't even think it's rare. I've never had a Chablis I didn't like. So, what local-ish DMV winery? I love my old job. I used to work at Screwtop Wine Bar in Clarendon, Virginia. It's right across the street. They have a subway station that's right across the street. It's a little closer. Clarendon feels far away, but it's not. But that's my favorite wine bar. So I would recommend that. Ooh, I like champagne. Champagne. Oh, wait. Ooh, I like that champagne acid is a lot. It can be. That's why I do recommend kind of just going that cava route if it is too much. But, I'm a champagne girl. I love champagne. So I don't know. I don't know, child. I don't know. Yeah. So I think that's all I can really say. For everyone who's just tuning in, we are tasting the Saint Antoine Chablis 2021. This is our wine club wine. If you guys are interested, it's not too late for you to receive these wines. You can still sign up for my wine club. It's just that some of the wines you might not be able to taste next Mondays or whatever. That's fine. But if you want to, I recommend signing up. If you have any issues with shipping, email me directly and I will contact you with my wine club manager, because there are some places we can ship to. It's just that we might have to do it a different way. You know what I'm saying? All legal, but just backdoor. You feel me? So if you have any issues, let me know. But I'm absolutely in love with this wine. Again, this is our book club. I know that it says that our wine club is on Wednesday, but we have to move it to Tuesday because I'm flying to Napa. I'm going to the jazz festival in Napa, and I don't know what I was thinking. I've really been bad with my schedule. This traveling has been jacking me up, but it's all good. Did you guys learn something new today? Tell me some things that you learned during our tasting in the comments below right here. I'll give you guys some shout outs. Enjoy the jazz and wine, child. My people gonna be there. I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a very fun experience. I'm going with my best friend who I'm staying with here in Dallas. And so, I mean, we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna make sure we do. Okay. But tell me, like, what are some topics that we covered today that you learned? And also, if you have any questions. Everything. Can I have the name of the book again? Absolutely. And take a screenshot. And you can go to my Instagram, The Millennial Psalm. All of this information is right there for you. Every month, I post the schedule. You can go to my website and the schedule is also there. It has all the wines for every Monday tasting and also the wines that we're going to feature in the books that we feature for book club. We also have the next month's book. It's somewhere. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is posted already what next month's book is going to be. But this is our book. This is also a Black author, so please make sure that you support Black authors and Black people within wine who are doing it big. He is absolutely phenomenal and awesome. Listen, he ain't respond to my DM, but trust me, he gonna want to one day. Ain't nobody mad. He booked and busy. But don't forget. Yeah, you want to connect with me, baby. Okay. Yeah, so what other questions do you guys have? And it doesn't have to just do with book club, wine club, all that. You can ask me whatever it is that's on your mind. If I don't know the answer, I will look it up. And then also we have subscriptions that's going to be happening soon for people who are interested in subscribing to our TikTok tastings. It's not going to be next week, but I think the week after that, I have to, I'm getting my emojis created. I was going to do some afflicted looking emojis, but look, I got to work in excellence. I can't just be having ugly stuff. I just can't do it. So subscriptions going to start probably in about 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay. I went to a Black winery from your list. Was fantastic. Yes, you better use my list. You guys, we have free lists on my website. All African-American winemakers and wine owners. Same for women in wine and Asian-owned brands as well. What is the world's best variety? I cannot answer that. Technically, okay, I'm going to answer it the best way I can. Is that okay? Can I answer it the best way I can? Jala 68. Is that okay? So, to me, it depends on what it is you're looking for. And it depends on your palate. So for me, I love acidity. I love big, bold, in your face, look like somebody punch you in the, I love that. And so I was actually talking to my friend because she has some canned wines or whatever. And y'all, I love high acidity. So Pickpool, Albarino, those are my jam as far as white wines, I guess. I also love, this is so hard. Okay. To me, I think the best wine or best variety in the world might be a Chardonnay. And I know there's going to be so many people who about to say, all right, I'm logging off. But no, but hear me out. All varieties truly can be expressed in different ways. But Chardonnay to me is amazing because it thrives in almost every climate. It has the potential to be expressed in so many different ways. If you want, I know, don't hate me, but hear me out before you click and quit. You can have Chardonnay sparkling. You can have Chardonnay as you don't really see it as a sweet wine really, but you still have great expression. It's an awesome wine to blend with. It's an awesome wine. It stands alone. You can have it with oak and it just really be beautiful like the Chablis that we had today. Or if you wanted to be big, bold in your face like a Napa Chardonnay, because though a lot of people don't like it, there are still people who do. And so it can really be treated in almost any way possible, which is why I want you guys to break the mold of saying that you don't like Chardonnay, because there's so many different expressions, so many different regions it's grown in. So if you want, like I said, this wine here, It's built to have high acidity. It's built to have that beautiful lime, lemon, green fruit, minerality because of the soil that it was grown in and because of the climate it was. And then you can also have it in warmer climates. Like you can go to Australia and get a Chardonnay. You can go to Napa and get a Chardonnay. You can go to Oregon and get a Chardonnay. And all of these wines in these different regions, even if they're in the same freaking country, taste completely different. So I think Chardonnay might be the answer. Hillary loves Chardonnay. Who's Hillary? Like Clinton? Who's Hillary? Who's Hillary? But yeah, so that's why I think Chardonnay as a white wine. And then if we're going to get into red wines, I don't even know. Ooh, I'm getting hot just thinking about this, y'all. It's hard. Okay, I think that this is difficult. I think that, and I hope I don't get canceled. I think the best variety for red wines is actually a Zinfandel. Not a Pinot Noir. I'm sorry. As much as I love Pinot Noir, there are like Pinot, like Chardonnay. Sure, it can be treated in different ways and have different expressions. But honestly, Pinot Noir is just such a finicky grape. It's hard to grow. It's very expensive. And honestly, it's not a one note type of wine, but typically it is presented in one note, if that makes sense, right? I do love Cab Sauv. Cab Sauv is grown all over the world. Like I said, I'm an acidity girl and big bold girl, and Cab Sauv definitely checks all those boxes as far as my preference is concerned. But I'll explain. Y'all want to know why I love Zen? If you want to know why I love Zen, put some wine. I want to see wine emojis. I ain't going to tell y'all until y'all tell me. Until I see these wine emojis, I'm not telling y'all why I picked Zen. So let me see them wine emojis. But yeah, when it comes to Cabernet Sauvignon, it's, high acidity, full bodied, high tannin, high alcohol. It's really high across the board. But I feel like it's so often shown, just like I was talking about Pinot Noir, like a one-hit wonder. It's just like, not one-hit wonder, but it only does one thing. It's typewritten. Whatever, when actors have that same role in every movie, that's Cabernet Sauvignon. And I don't feel like it's fair to the variety. However, it's what the people want. Now, thank you all so much for my wine emojis. I will break it down. Come on, Barbara. I will break it down to why I love Zens. So Zens are just grown to be complex. If you have a nasty Zen, I really feel like it's the producer's fault because you have no excuse. Zinfandel, the whole cluster is grown when it grows, right? It ripens at different times. Each individual grape ripens at different times. So you will have underripe grapes, which we've already talked about, which will mean the wine should have decent acidity. You'll have raisin grapes, so there should be some sweetness to it. And then you'll have like your beautiful ripened grapes. So it's literally, people take different wines from different locations to create a blend and create complexity. I believe that Zens are just built that way. You don't have to do anything really to make it fabulous. And then you also have your old vine Zens, which you guys know, one of my babies, one of my kids, my plant babies, named Zen because it's from an older vine. But it's just the complexity and the concentration of flavor. It's just, it's just beautiful. So I believe that Zens are one of the supreme varieties. And I also feel it's one of the most underrated varieties because we went through that whole white Zinfandel phase. Whenever you hear Zen, I think that people naturally want to say negative things, or people allow their Zens to be too jammy. And that's a choice. It doesn't have to be too jammy, right? But it's a style that some people like and blah, blah, blah. I've had some really nasty Zens in my life because of people doing extra stuff to it. It's already built to be good. So just chill. Let me go get a Zen. For real. I mean, I love Susun Valley. So Sunset Cellars, they're one of my favorite Zens in the entire world. Shout out to Fa. I love you, Fa. But yeah, I love Zens. I will twerk something hard for a Zen if that's what I gotta do. For a great Zen, I'll do that. Oh, I just said it. My favorite Zen will be the Susun Valley Sunset Cellar Old Zinfandel. I think my favorite vintage is 2014. Okay. What's another question? I'm liking these questions. I'm liking these questions. I don't know which wine we're having for next Monday. Dry Creek Valley is Zenland. Oh, yes it is. When I tell you I was reading it, I was like, what? What are you in? Oh, by the way, so it's really hot here in Texas. So again, Wine Club this month, we swap August. Whole nother conversation. But it's porch-pounder month. So if you're looking for wines that are really going to quench your thirst and that just taste amazing and easy to drink, this is the month. You don't just get the wine so that you have these wines in your house to enjoy, right? So sign up. Link in my bio. We also have canned wines. You can get 20% off. I think the sale is still going on. And then you can also click the link in my bio if you are interested in a Coravin preservation system to save your wines if you are drinking responsibly and you're not trying to drink everything in one night. I do recommend, I want to make sure I always promote drinking responsibly. Okay? We care about our health and our acid reflux. We drinking water, we're exercising, we're not over consuming. So my wine refrigerator actually is a dual system, which if you go onto YouTube, I actually have a link that you guys can use, and I'm pretty sure you have a discount. I don't remember what the discount is, but you can click the link in my bio and get a discount off of a new air refrigerator. And I think that link might be in my bio as well on my link tree. But anyway, I have a dual temperature, and so the top one is set to 45 because I have my sparkling wines that I have to care about, and then the bottom is set to 55 to store my red wines. And you know, in the middle I'll have like my white wines, and kind of closer to the top I'll have my lighter bodied reds. But I kind of go sparkling, white wine, light body reds, and then full body reds that I'm storing and I just want to age a little bit. So that's what I'm doing there. Y'all have any other questions? And you guys, you know, you can totally go online, Google all this stuff. If you can't reach me, or if you're interested about anything, use Google. It is your best friend. Now, there are some things that are not accurate. So if you're not 100% sure, DM me on Instagram or email me at themillennialsong@gmail.com. And if I am able to see it and help you out, I will do so. Okay. What other questions? I still got time. I still got time, baby. What's going on? Wine Club. Sign up for Wine Club. So you can come to these tastings every Monday and taste along with me. And then Tasting Thursday is going to resume in the fall. I haven't decided on what day yet. I am trying to solidify some of my guests. So y'all hold tight for that. Have y'all been having fun? I've been going to the pool here in Dallas. It's hot as hell, but the pool feels amazing. That's why I might not look as chocolate because I had to change the filter on this thing because you could not see me. No, Tiffany. I don't even want to say it because I feel like I'm going to say that wrong. Vino de Naranja. No, I haven't had that sweet wine yet. Spanish sweet wine. It's too hot for the pool in Houston. I mean, it's hot. Dallas is hot as hell. It's been like 100-something degrees. And you know, my behind, I used to think, so when I'm home in DC, I sit out on the patio and work. And I honestly feel like it's like a workout because what happens is I be sweating and, you know, I feel like I burnt calories while I'm working, just sitting on the patio. I can't do that here. It is way too hot. Way too hot. Yeah, see, 108 degrees is too hot. Anything past 85, we've gone too far. Like 85 is already hot enough. Beyond that, what are we doing? I'm cooking. At this point, I'm slowly baking. Too hot. All right, y'all. So I'm getting ready to skedaddle. If we have any other questions, speak now or forever hold your wine, baby. Because your wine is your peace. As long as you don't overdrink. San Antonio, Texas here. I feel you, child. Okay, not all the Texas people in the chat just... Because we suffering out here. It's hot. It's hot. I'm mad that so many people in Texas are just like, I'm in the UK heat wave. What's the temperature? If you can translate that to Fahrenheit, all the Americans would appreciate it. Come on to Cali, girl. I will be in Cali in like a week and a half. We are going to be in Napa, so I'll be right there. Got the nerve to say, turn it up. Ooh. You sound like my friend. Because they did say, turn it up to 78 degrees. Ooh, I'm about to choke to death. It's hot for no reason. I'm getting off because I'm choking. I love y'all.